The night had grown unusually silent over the city, as if the world was holding its breath for something it could not yet understand. In the dimly lit mansion that stood on the hill overlooking the river, a man named Adrian Hale walked through the hallways with a heavy heart. He was one of the richest men in the country, a self-made billionaire whose name appeared in magazines, newspapers, and business conferences. People believed he had everything a person could ever dream of. But behind the grand walls of his mansion lived a pain no amount of money could cure. His twin daughters, Lily and Grace, had been suffering from a mysterious illness since birth. Doctors from all over the world had tried to understand their condition, but none succeeded. Adrian spent millions traveling from one country to another, meeting specialists, even experimenting with treatments that were still in research stages. Yet the only results he received were silence and uncertainty. Lily and Grace were the only family he had left after the tragic loss of their mother 5 years ago. He had promised his wife on her deathbed that he would protect their daughters with everything he had, even if it meant giving up all his wealth, and he had done exactly that. But nothing changed. Every night the girls cried in pain, their tiny bodies struggling to survive another day. And every night, Adrian blamed himself for being powerless, despite having everything. One evening, as Lily struggled to breathe, Adrian held her trembling hand. She whispered, "Daddy, I don't want to die." Those words shattered him. That night, he made a decision that would change everything. He would travel to the most remote ends of the world if he had to, until he found a cure. He contacted dozens of researchers, scientists, and healers. Most of them refused, some politely, some with pity in their eyes. But one message changed everything. It was from an unknown researcher named Dr. Amara Voss, who lived in the mountains far from civilization. Her message was short. "I may have a solution, but it requires courage, sacrifice, and a journey you may not return from." Without wasting a second, Adrian packed his daughters and traveled with his trusted assistant, Samuel. The trip was long, moving from the comfort of private jets to rough jeep rides on dangerous mountain roads. Lily and Grace grew weaker as the air thinned. Adrian held them close, whispering stories to keep them awake. After 2 days of travel, they reached a hidden village deep between 2 mountains. The villagers stared at them with curiosity and caution. They had never seen outsiders. Dr. Amara Voss appeared, an elderly woman with silver hair and sharp eyes. She looked at the twins not with pity, but with understanding. She told Adrian that the cure they needed was not just medicine. An elderly woman with silver hair and sharp eyes. She looked at the twins not with pity, but with understanding. She told Adrian that the cure they needed was not just medicine. It was ancient, powerful, and risky. She warned him that the treatment could either save them or destroy them. Adrian said he was willing to risk everything. Anything was better than watching them slowly fade away. That night, the treatment began. The twins laid on stone beds inside an ancient temple carved within the mountain. Strange glowing symbols lit up around them. Dr. Amara mixed rare herbs, crystals, and substances Adrian had never seen before. The air filled with a scent that was both calming and frightening. Suddenly, Lily screamed. Then Grace. Their bodies arched as if lightning ran through them. Adrian tried to run to them, but Samuel held him back. "If you touch them," Dr. Amara shouted, "they will die instantly." Adrian collapsed to his knees, helplessly watching his daughters shaking in pain. Hours passed. The screams grew weaker. Adrian's heart felt like it was being ripped apart. Finally, the temple went silent. The glowing symbols faded. Dr. Amara stepped back with trembling hands. When Adrian rushed forward, he found both girls unconscious, their faces pale, their breathing faint. "Did it work?" he asked desperately. Dr. Amara looked unsure. "We will know by sunrise?" Adrian didn't sleep. He stayed by their sides the entire night. As dawn broke, a faint golden light spilled into the temple. And then, Lily moved. Grace opened her eyes. For the first time in years, they smiled without pain. Adrian broke down crying, holding them both tightly. But the joy did not last long. Dr. Amara warned him that the cure was incomplete. The twins would recover, fully only if Adrian completed the final part of the ritual, a sacrifice only he could make. "What sacrifice?" he asked, fear tightening his chest. She looked into his eyes and said, "Your fortune, your wealth, everything you own. The cure, she explained, was fueled by the energy of balance. His daughters' lives would flourish only if he let go of the material wealth that had brought imbalance to his life. Adrian did not hesitate. He signed over his companies, his properties, his accounts of everything to a humanitarian foundation. Within a week, the billionaire became an ordinary man. He moved into a small cottage with his daughters and Samuel. Life was simple, difficult, but filled with peace he had never known before. And the girls? They recovered completely. They ran, played, laughed, things they had never been able to do. Years passed, and Adrian found work teaching business to young students in a local community center. He was no longer the man the world admired, but he was finally the father his daughters needed. One day, when Lily and Grace turned 18, they asked him, "Daddy, do you ever regret losing everything for us?" Adrian smiled gently and replied, "I didn't lose anything. I gained the only thing that ever mattered." The girls hugged him tightly. At that moment, Adrian knew his decision had been right. Money could be earned again, fame could come and go, but the life of the people we love, that was priceless. And so the man who once had everything learned the true meaning of wealth, not in gold or power, but in love, sacrifice, and the quiet moments that make life worth living.